side of red a switch leg night. Rob at the dawn on his motorbike. Looking for legends on the Sunset Strip with a stone cold paranormal partnership. That's what Town Rick tried to sell me some crack. Listen to the podcast, man, and take that shit back. It's Urban Legends, the podcast about urban legends. And here your host, Neil and Chris. You'll receive our pod in your ears tonight.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Urban Legends, the podcast about urban legends, myths, and all kinds of non-secular, interesting stories from throughout human history. I am Chris Flynn, and with me, as always, is Mr.
Neil Herbert. It's a very religious podcast.
Huh?
It's a very religious podcast.
Yes.
Secularism around this place.
That's what you bring to it.
Yes,
the
holiness.
The theologian of the two of us.
The Port Slade Pope, as they call me.
The Fishersgate Friar.
Indeed.
We've got an early start for us today, or compared to recently, and it's because Neil, you're off to the horse races later, aren't you, Neil?
Indeed, yeah.
Do you mind if I ask who's riding you? Oh, we have fun, don't we?
Bants.
That's total bants. Apparently, the banter podcast is dying off.
Is it?
So we're fine.
Yeah, yeah. We've got absolutely no problems there then.
No,
is that because all of the bantsy people are turning out to be terrible people?
No, it's because basically just all the money's going to the celebrities podcast for celebrities who don't need to be doing a podcast because they've already got loads of money and stuff from doing like their music or whatever. They're all doing a podcast now for reasons which are slightly beyond my comprehension.
Fair enough.
Do you understand why you would? So say you're a pop star.
Yeah.
You're a millionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're all over. You've got 10 million people following you on your Instagram.
Private jet fuel doesn't pay for itself, Chris.
Private jet fuel doesn't pay for it. So yeah, do you understand why you would then do a podcast interviewing people?
Yeah, just more money. Once you've had a taste of riches, and so you don't want to get back amongst hoi polloi, do you?
No, I mean, you've probably got enough riches, haven't you?
Well, what's enough? As I say, private jet fuel don't pay for itself. It's quite expensive once you get a taste of that.
Well, Gary Lineker's like the podcast baron, isn't he? Like his Goal Hanger podcasts. Like
I've heard of that. I don't follow that many podcasts, to be honest.
Well, he does
a little selection I like. But
so he's got like they're all called The Rest Is. So like there's The Rest Is Politics of Alistair Campbell and Rory Stewart.
Oh, okay. I know he's active on Twitter. I didn't realise he was.
Yeah, he's like, I know, like there was The Rest Is History and like The Rest Is Money now, and like so everything that's got like The Rest Is like a Gary Lineker.
He's got his own little podcast empire, is he?
Well, I don't think it's little. Like they're constantly like in the like, and now he's got The Rest Is Football, which is basically they took the idea of that the BBC did of him, Micah Richard, and Alan Shearer talking about top 10 football things, and he went, well, I'm just going to use that and I'm going to put it under my podcast thing and stick advertising on it. And
he
so,
hosts all of these?
No, he's only the football one.
Okay, yeah.
No, he just provides the podding expertise.
Okay, yeah, and the production company, whatever. Yeah.
So he's doing very well for himself out of that, I think.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, good for him. Not just a football striker and presenter, also pod baron.
Chris, have some talent and become famous in another field before we start this podcast.
I'm trying to think what fields I could become famous in.
I mean, it wasn't a serious assertion hanging around.
There's nothing coming to mind, I'll be honest with you.
We've done it the wrong way around. Unless it's a bit like, where you get that with, pseudo celebrity TV, where the people on celebrity TV are people that have been on. When there was a point where you would get like what do they call it? Reality TV or reality show.
Or scripted reality, like Made in Essex, or Made in Chelsea.
And then they'd do celebrity versions. You'd have like Big Brother, and you'd have Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where the celebrities on Celebrity Big Brother were just the
people who previously been on Big Brother.
It just disappears of its own arse. So we just have to, we need to become famous for a podcast and then launch a podcast.
We live in strange times.
Doesn't feel, it's a bit like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You can't actually physically do it, but give it a go.
It's weird, isn't it? Because and quite rightly, people are really critical of kind of the 90s and stuff because of lads mags and glamour models and all this kind of stuff. But what's weird nowadays is somehow people have been brainwashed by social media, and you'll see sort of just people essentially putting what would have used to be called glamour model shots, like in bikinis or bras and whatever, of themselves on Instagram for free. And you're kind of like, well, I don't know which was better. Like, I mean, the glamour models used to get paid and have a career at least, rather than doing it for kind of for likes and hoping that maybe an energy drink might sponsor you or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
it's like everything's free now, isn't it? Like all content's free. Like even sort of selling pictures of yourself, kind of for sexual gratification of others, like that's free. I don't know. It's kind of a weird time to be alive.
Yeah, well, that's the modern era, isn't it? And we're too old to get it. Hey, we're all content creators now, Chris. It's probably like the final part of that. What Shimane came out with? He did the Andy Warhol's 50 Minutes of Fame thing. It's even more pronounced now with social media.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I do get it, but I'm just sort of, I despair at it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know, Neil. Like again, people can do what they want. I'm just not sure. I don't know, man. Old man howling at the moon.
Exactly. Hey, it's going to happen whether you like it or not. So.
Well, yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just kind of it's a weird place that we find ourselves.
It's a similar thing, isn't it? With anything, it's where people are doing quote unquote content for free. Mm-hmm. Although, I don't know. It's I mean, the real difficulty with a lot of this stuff, because I mean, I don't know about you, but I do a few Patreon things that I like.
Yeah.
Things where I like. You can't really do that like en masse for as many people as you'd like to.
No.
Because there were a bunch of like things where things were written that websites that were well written about 10, 15 years ago, when people were being paid a decent wage to create things, and it attracted like good writers and things like that. For about 5 to 10 years, there was actually a viable career, of like people blogging and stuff like this. Which has all kind of disappeared now.
We got over Substack, haven't you?
Well, yeah,
a right-wing Substack.
A
QAnon Substack.
Well, they're still around, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, but even more so as well, right? They're even like the companies are going, well, like even the tiny amount of people we pay, we could probably get rid of them and replace them with generative AI.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, if you've ever seen any BuzzFeed articles, then
like who cares?
Be replaced by an AI article.
Yeah, literally no different.
Literally the worst. I'm more angry that I end up clicking on one of those things. It's like,
I've not really done that a lot of time. I mean, I don't really care what the people who used to be in the Wonder Years look like.
That's what always makes me laugh. It's like there'll just be like a picture of like, it'll be like, I don't know, Courtney Cox from Friends or something, and then on the right hand it'll be a picture of Skeletor. You're like, seriously? Or just like really photoshopped.
If they're still the same as they used to be as well, the picture which they put as the call to action, then that will be 40 pages into
it'd be a slideshow. I don't know. Yeah, no,
with an advert every 3 slides.
Tell you what, though, because the thing is, you get those ones, and they're sort of paid one. It's just like idiots to click on things for advertising money. But the one that's been depressing me recently, I'm still rubbernecking at Twitter for some reason. Well, I know it's supposed to be called X. I don't care.
Yeah, I know. I looked this morning. Because of stuff in the world, it was quite doom scrolly.
But yeah, there was. But
Oh, just to say though, if you also like doom scrolling, then you can find us at Legends Urbane on Twitter/X, if you want to call it that.
Go for it.
If you're a Musk fanboy,
yeah, come at us. We don't care.
I'd like it
with your recent arguments and your highly coherent views.
I've got a few followers for having a go at a David Icke tweet the other day from our account. So
nice.
Yeah.
They go for it.
He's switching from lizards to right-wing culture war.
I really follow.
He's like, in the Home Office now in the UK, you can't even use the words mum and dad. And it's like, shut up, stick to the lizards, you prick.
People get this shit. Mind you, he's been lunatic for years.
But it doesn't. It's following the money, isn't it? Like
that's true. Yeah, it's like it's what people want to hear. Well, this is the thing with all of these things, isn't it? Yeah, they just become self-fulfilling echo chambers because that's how you drive engagement, by getting people at each other's throats. Yeah, you've made the world actively worse and made a bit of profit.
Well, that's capitalism.
Yeah, super. But yeah, no, the one that gets me. So you have all these people on sort of Twitter are sort of like giving free material and stuff like that. But there's one, I can't remember, it's something like Great British TV or something like that.
Right.
And it's thoroughly, I must have followed it at some point, something like that. Normally you'd expect it to be something like, here's
The Good Life.
Yeah, click for The Good Life. No, Felicity Kendall saying something twee and amusing. But then, I'd estimate about 80% of his posts are just
GB News.
No, it's not that. I haven't gone down that route. It's just kind of like, people who died about 30 years ago. And it's like, on this day, we remember, so Brian he died 30 years ago or whatever. And here's the thing about John Thor or whatever, and he's like, oh, blimey, was he gone that long? But yeah, no, just once you've seen too many of them, it just gets vaguely depressing. It's just kind of like, it's supposed to be a fun little account where you sort of remember the yesteryear of British TV, and it's just like,
it's just like
everyone I ever loved has died.
It's just like a memoriam. I'm just on loop.
Well, pretty much that's how it's coming across. I mean,
guess what, Guy? Every single day of the year, someone has died on.
Yeah. Well, I think they haven't sort of gotten past the 80s. Do you know what I mean? I think for them, comedy died in the 70s, and that's they're probably a little bit of you can't say anything anymore. You won't see stuff like Peep Show, or even that's 20 years old now, isn't it? But or I don't know, Ghosts or some other sort of modern UK sitcom.
No.
I could speculate as to why that is, and I shan't. I'd like to think I'm wrong.
I attempted to, which is quite popular.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Mackenzie Crook and that little guy who looks like a shaved monkey.
Oh, he's a good actor, actually.
He's a good actor,
yeah. Oh, gosh, I forgot his name.
But I'd avoided it because I was like...
The Toby Jug fella.
Yeah.
That's coming from me. The big Toby Jug fucking looking fella.
The Oktoberfest Toby Jug.
Yeah.
I was thinking, do you know what, right, this sounds like kind of like middle of the road.
Toby Jones, in fact. I think he's literally called Toby. I think it's Toby Jones, yeah.
Yeah,
he's a very good actor, actually.
He had to change it because Toby Jug was already a member of Equity.
He's a member of Equity, so yeah. He couldn't got that lucrative Marvel career.
Toby Juggs he was a bit part carry on actor, wasn't he?
We worked. He was a consultant that came into our firm, wasn't he, Toby Jugg? Do you remember that fella?
No.
So there's a guy, and he literally did look like. I think you put it, Chris, it was quite funny. He looked like a mounted Toby Jug, but it was this a normal fella. He wanted to get. He's like, "Oh, you lads coming out for a pint tonight?"
And that guy, the guy,
yeah. And he said,
"The training."
Yeah, and I think on the way he put it, I don't want to think. I just want to go somewhere because you guys are local. You show somewhere there's not too many gays, and I can have a look at a nice looking burback. Nothing creepy.
And
I think we were like,
they're well dressed.
We don't drink. Sorry.
While we're literally drinking pints.
Yeah,
don't really. There's not much. We don't really go out drinking.
Yeah, it's like if we weren't really keen on going out before, what you've just said is just ensure that we will never go to the pub with you. Sorry, that's just.
But yeah, so I kind of like avoided the Tetris because I thought,
I've never seen it. I must confess. I know it's highly rated. Yeah,
yeah, but I was kind of like, this feels like kind of a middle of the road, quite twee BBC comedy, but it's quite highly rated. So like, I gave it a watch. Turns out it was quite a twee middle of the road BBC comedy. So I got through like an episode and a half. Yeah, so
I'll give it a go at some point.
That's not a recommend from me.
No, I'm going to try it at some point just because I've seen so many people recommending it. But yeah. I mean,
set expectations to low.
Yeah, well, I can imagine it will be. It's probably one of those ones that maybe grows on you. I don't know.
Mold.
Yeah.
Fungus. Anyway, Neil, so we're doing a podcast today.
Anyway, I was sitting there slacking off, actually professional.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, because the BBC these days, because the government are constantly trying to shut it down, have to play it incredibly safe constantly. So, like, anything that, like, Middle England wouldn't get, they just go, Middle England will go, what is it? I don't know this. I don't find this funny. What is this? Then the BBC will get its funding slashed. So they have to go middle of the road, don't they?
Yeah, and I think, to be honest with you, to tend to hear as well, it usually tends to be sort of independent production companies, like comedy-wise anyway. Usually it's stuff that slips under the radar through BBC. I think it used to be a lot easier to get stuff commissioned on BBC Two, and then sort of like things like The Office. I think it wasn't highly rated when they originally came in. I mean, whether people like that or not, whatever. But it was, it was big. It was big, and all the rest of it,
Well, like the Mighty Boosh, comes to mind because that's a weird program. Like, I quite like the first 1.5 series of it, and that was at like
was that Channel 4?
It was on BBC Two, and they slotted it in at like 7:30 on a Tuesday night or something, some really weird time, like not a comedy time normally, because that's when they could sneak it in.
Yeah, or like the last thing that Stuart Lee and what's his face Herring did. Was it
This Morning with Richard Not Judy?
Richard Not Judy, that's it. Yeah, it was like 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning. It was just like so weird, but watching that on a Sunday morning. But yeah, it was just kind of like what they could get away with on BBC Two at the time. Because I think there was a lot of that. I don't think the BBC's ever been brilliant about, like, you watch this the sort of like the key comedies that start on BBC. He's got like Mrs. Brown's Boys and like some shit with Del Boy in it. Like that. Did you see that? It was something like The Royal Bodyguard a few Christmases back. Absolute fucking shite. I mean, again, talking about stuck in the 70s. Anyway.
Well, it used to be the BBC. They used to, because they had like a bit more elbow room. I remember like the story about Monty Python, and because they didn't come out of nowhere, Monty Python. They all had like writing credits on other shows.
Yeah, and they worked with David Frost on.
Yeah, and they're all quite well known. But they came in and said, right, we want to do a sketch show, and the guy from the BBC was there, like with the power, and go, okay, what kind of thing, like what kind of sketch are you going to do? And they were like, oh, we don't know. Okay, and what's the show going to be called? Oh, we're not sure yet. Right, I see. Okay, well, I'll give you 12 episodes. It was that kind of thing, and that kind of freedom allowed them to do a seminal comedy. But speaking of seminal comedies, Neil, we've got a legend for us, isn't there?
We've got a legend for you, because that's what this podcast is about, allegedly. Yeah. And today we're going to explore the legend of the cat she.
What?
The cat she. So it's like
cat she.
Yeah, it's a fairy cat. So it's like a Gaelic thing. It's also a. So here's a really uninteresting story to start off with.
Lovely.
Get the gold up.
Start as you mean to go on.
Exactly. It's been another controversy on Twitter.
Oh dear.
On Gaelic Twitter, no less.
Gaelic Twitter.
So
is that a thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They'll come after you now, Chris. Cat she. So
come at me.
It's spelled like almost like Cait Sith. Cait Sith.
Sith.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Spelling in Gaelic is really it's not how it's pronounced.
You all right there, Neil? Having a bit of a cough?
Yeah. I tried to go off the mic on that one, but
you did. You managed.
That was professional, wasn't it?
You having a night on the cigars last night? Was it?
Oh yeah,
listening to some
Cuban friends come around and have a bit of music and a night of cigars.
Oh really? It was that rather than you were like watching like Tucker Carlson's Twitter show, smoking a cigar.
Yeah,
pretending you liked it.
Yeah, and holding a whiskey in my right hand to look tough, even though I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Remembering to They got up once every 3 hours. But yes, all right. Oh, yeah, what was going on about? So,
Sith.
so he's a playable character in Final Fantasy VII, which is a video game, and
I'm aware
it's
of
quite
it.
a famous one from back in the day. And nobody had ever sort of said how to pronounce it, because that was back when they didn't sort of have dialogue, I guess, on those. It was all just text. Reams.
Why did a Japanese game have a Celtic cat goblin thing,
I
woman?
don't know, they're just wacky fellas.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah, you would have thought they could take something out of Shinto mythology, but they decided to go with the Gaelic instead. But they just announced how it's pronounced, and they decided not to use the Gaelic pronunciation, which has Gaelic Twitter.
Ooh.
So it's actually pronounced Cait Sith, I think they're saying. Anyway, whatever.
It's
So there you go.
catchy.
But it's Catchy is how you pronounce it. So there you go. Hailing. So I've actually, I'll call out the website as well. So I've got on a website today called Brickthology. I'm going to give it a recommend. It's
Is it a mythology around the brick? So Brazil,
Well, it's
Russia,
somebody who's-
India, China, and South Africa.
well, no, they're a fan of Lego into their adult years and mythology. So
okay. Lego and mythology.
yeah, so that's
Life well spent.
as an adult fan of Lego, I've continued my love of Lego into adulthood and never really given up my love of plastic bricks. I also happen to love mythology and reading about it. And so what they do is they publish a little article of mythology, and they put on there's a little Lego thing here.
Is it a Lego character?
Yeah, it's got 3 Lego cats sitting on a Lego lawn.
Okay.
In the
But
picture.
the Lego lawn, you just mean like a flat piece of plastic with
It's like a green
nodules
brick,
in it.
basically, yeah, with 3 Lego cats in it. So there you go.
That's nice.
That's the angle they've gone for. But
Have you ever seen the Lego Bible?
different? No, I haven't. It's just
There's a website called the Lego Bible, and it goes through every.
they enact all of the stories from
With
the
Lego men,
Old
yeah.
and New Testament with Lego people.
Yeah.
Because there was a trend. I remember the Guardian publishing a load of these where they would like recreate. I think they did it during the World Cup. They would recreate incidents from I think
Right.
like 2 World Cups back or something. Because I think it's one of those things where people would do stop motion animation with Lego stuff.
Right.
You know.
No, these are just stills.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. That's what
Why
got
not?
me going to church
No, it's good. Good to know you're now.
briefly.
Yeah.
Before I was asked to leave.
Yeah. Well, that business with the sacrament,
Mm-hmm.
not what we do with the wafer. Anyway.
Why have you brought your own pate?
I got told off about that when I was a kid.
What, pate on Jesus?
No, so we did you got the host, you went up for communion, and I decided, because I was like in primary school, I was like, I'm not hungry, so I'll just take it back to my seat and eat it later. And they explained to me that was what Satanists did. You mustn't do that. It's very unholy to do that. It's a sacred rite, and Satanists used to do that to scorn the ancient ceremony. The transubstantiation into Jesus couldn't possibly happen if I did
it can't turn into literal human / God
yeah.
flesh in your mouth if you take it back to your seat.
Yeah. So
I mean,
that was
so
my time.
Satanists take it back to their seat, but Christians are
Well, no,
cannibals. Is
apparently
that
what they would do. Yeah, it's not technically cannibalism. It only turns into the body and blood of Jesus. It's a miracle. You wouldn't understand, Chris, because you're not
I
Catholic.
wouldn't.
It's a transcendent miracle, but we're not all cannibals.
I mean, that sounds like you are.
A little bit, eh?
Let's just say if a Catholic plane goes down, there's a lot less hand wringing if it goes.
Yeah. You know.
We're survivors.
Yeah, it's what God would have wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, apparently it was like running away with it was what people used to do. I don't know. Well, this is what I'm not sure. I don't know.
You can't run away with a bit of Jesus now. Can't run off with him. What are you going to do with it?
Catholic school's a fun time.
Feed it to a black cat.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I was just a kid. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to do anything. I wasn't even trying to be naughty. I was just kind of like
Whatever. You had just slay a hoodie on.
That's what happens. When I did my confirmation, I did have an anthrax t-shirt.
What, underneath your cassock?
No. You don't wear a cassock. You're supposed to. I was supposed to come in a little suit, and my kind of like
In a little suit.
And my thing was, I was, my own
Were you rebelling hard at the time, were you?
15 or something, so I was kind
railing
of like,
against the system.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, well...
Railing against the system so much you were having your confirmation.
Exactly, yeah. It was a pretty pathetic rebellion.
Yeah, well, who's to say that God doesn't really like anthrax? I mean, he must have invented them because he invented everything.
God rocks.
God rocks hard.
Why do you think there's so much Christian rock out there? And Christian
that's why he can shoot the lightnings.
Yeah.
That's why he invented thunderstorms.
He absolutely rocks out. You kidding?
He's always rocking.
Yeah.
He likes rock music, Christian rock music, and Christian country and Western music, and that's it.
Yeah. That's a good time.
It's a great time.
Right.
I've started going down line dancing recently.
Oh, nice.
It's quite good.
Walking backwards and forwards in a straight line.
Do you know what?
To the left and to the right.
Do you know what,
maybe, if I'm really feeling it.
Most of the people there, I will be honest, have age-related mobility issues, and that's why they've chosen line dancing. But it does mean that I'm quite popular with the ladies.
Cutting up the rug quite nicely, yeah.
Yeah, with my only semi-impaired movements.
Your two quote-unquote functioning hips.
Yeah, I like take a little shot of cod liver oil and give them a wink.
Yeah.
Don't worry, ladies.
I can get out of my seat without a Zimmer frame.
Yeah, look, I put my hands in the air as like in a kind of praise way, palms up, and just stand up, not even having to hoist myself.
It's a hell of a move.
Yep, loads of them just sort of pass out. I'm not sure if that's to do with me or kind of further medical issues, but it's all right. Yeah, I'm going to buy some cowboy boots.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that Crocs are doing cowboy boots now. That's good, isn't it?
Rubber
cowboy boots.
So it's like a cowboy boot, but with big open bits.
No, I think the closed bits, but it's, I don't know.
So they just got their Crocs branded, but just cowboy boots.
But made of rubber.
Oh, Jesus, how vulgar. So you feel the cowboy boot can, you can get, you've been able to get the worst shoes you could buy, a cowboy boot or a Croc.
But you've been able to get rubber cowboy boots in Brighton for years. not a problem.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
But this is to bring them into the mainstreams.
I mean, I don't know. I guess they might be hard wearing and comfortable or something. I don't know. Like the thing is, if you're
they're useful if you're wading through shit because they're sealed.
I mean, to me, I don't understand that because why not just have a Wellington boot? Surely.
Not stylish. Well,
isn't that the equivalent? Because I assume a cowboy boot, the whole idea was it was like hard wearing and you were on the ranch and yada yada. And
you didn't want to get your lower legs chafed by the horses.
No, of course you don't. Yeah, it keeps the water out, keeps your socks, your toesy woesies nice and warm.
Don't you be looking at my boots, boy. They keep my toesy woesies nice and dry.
But yeah, if you want a plastic version, just get one of the boot. Surely. Anyway, whatever. I'm not the marketing man for.
I mean, but Neil, you're like me, and when it rains, all you do is wear your normal shoes and just like tie a carrier bag around the bottom.
Yeah, just get wet feet. Yeah.
Or just get wet feet. Yeah. Just don't bother wearing shoes.
Yeah.
Feet will dry quicker.
Oh, you think trench foot tied down to 20s? I do. Right. Anyway, we're allegedly going to be talking about pronounce this bloody thing, a cat she. I don't want Gaelic Twitter after me.
Like she-cat.
Yeah. It's described as a large black cat with a white spot on its chest. It's believed to haunt the Scottish Highlands. So yeah, this is largely a Scottish thing. Some sources will say the cat she is as large as a dog.
Some sources will say the cat she is as large as a dog.
I think the thing is that's not really helpful, is it? Because dogs, there's like a pretty big spectrum of size.
Yeah, Mastiff or Chihuahua.
You can be like cat-sized up to sort of like Rhodesian Ridgebacks or whatever.
Some people go as far to say that the cat she is the size of a cat-sized dog.
Yeah. So they could walk on two legs if they so choose and even speak. There you go. Now that's
well.
Good.
That links in with that. So that links in with Shinto because in Shinto they reckon it's cats and red pandas. They reckon can both shapeshift into human form and speak.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. They might have thought, this is a bit, it's a bit like Shinto, but it's a separate thing. Let's put this in. So fairy or demon, and this seems to alternate.
Or cat.
Or cat, yeah. Well, they are.
Or cat, or Cat-sized dog.
They are kind of like chaotic creatures, cats, aren't they? Are they good or bad? Depends on their mood.
Well, you can't judge them by human morality.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, even by human morality, like whatever that is, like there's still.
Well,
I would say human morality. They're probably still better than humans, even though they torture. Even though they
that's the
torture
great
other
thing about
animals
humanity,
sometimes.
isn't it? We invented morality and managed to.
Well, you just need to know. You need to know where the boundary lies.
Absolutely
so
push the
you know
boundaries.
how to
and stuff,
fucking tank it past boundaries.
Yeah. Just so we can absolutely, do some of the most appalling things that no animal
You need a scale,
would consider doing. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So, I mean, basically, it's as Christianity spread throughout the British Isles, then they became fairies and fae spirits became more correlated with beings.
Yeah, and then probably people started burning black cats in big fires.
Well, we'll come on to that.
Oh no, it's going to be a sad one.
No, it's just generally quite a fun one. I'm going to quickly just go through that bit. There's a horrible ceremony. I'm not going to talk about too much. So stealing
because as the viewers may not know, I have 2 black cats.
Yeah, it was quite. Well, I kind of looked this up. I wasn't sure about whether it was because it's kind of a bit more mythology than urban legend. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, mythology is just like a much older version of an urban legend.
Of an urban legend, it is. Yeah. I imagined that the Red Room Curse will one day. There'll be a Disney film about it in the year 3000.
Well, I would hope so. Will become like Reddit will become like the Greek myths, won't it? It'll be like
the Great Alexandrian
Ovid's Metamorphoses or something. Yeah, like Brutal Slayer 55 went on. It'd be like the Bond version of Ovid. In a 2,000 years time. So the people of the Scottish Highlands didn't trust the Cait Sith. There was a belief that they would steal a person's soul before the gods would claim it if they passed over their corpse before burial.
Okay.
They would do a watch or the late wake. I'm not going to try and pronounce. There's a lot of Gaelic words here that I'm just going to get wrong, so I'm not going to try and pronounce.
Just do it in an accent, then it'll sound right.
The Fail Fadlach, possibly, or the late wake. This is probably Gaelic, unless you know how to pronounce the word.
Yeah,
or you know the etymology well. Then it's just like it's would be held to make sure that they kept away from the room in which the corpse laid. Nor would fires be lit near the body. It was believed the warmth would attract a cat's teeth to the area. This bit of law also reminds me of a similar one where you didn't allow a cat in the crib with a newborn, so it was said to suck out their soul. The cat is just after any potential milk around the infant's mouth, but with newborns, their immune system's not fully developed yet, so don't let the cat in there for health reasons.
Yeah, but that's not. But that's also bollocks. Like on their explanation, the cat's after some milk around the newborn's mouth. No, like the cats are quite. Despite what people say, they're quite affectionate creatures, and they'll see the newborn as part of their family. Yeah, and they'll go and like sniff it and try and scent mark it and stuff. You often see cats kind of cuddled up to babies. They kind of protect it.
So
I'm just trying to get a bit of milk from around its mouth.
Yeah. Well, so there's also, this is where the story of 9 lives comes from, apparently. So they were thought to be potentially witches. So where the cat she is thought to could be a shape-shifted witch. The witches are thought to be only able to shape-shift a total of 8 times, and if they did it at night time, they'll be stuck in the form of a black cat for the rest of their life.
That's a weirdly. I mean, how would you choose when to do it? I guess.
It's got fed up with it all. I don't know. We might turn it into a black cat right now.
Yeah, I know, but that's because you hate podcasting.
That's true.
Yeah, I know, but what would be the circumstances when you go, I'm going to use one of my 8 turns?
Well, I guess you'd have to do it when, I guess you
moth in the flat or something.
Yeah, or I don't know, like if some
got to escape
are coming after you to try and spurn you.
You'd have to you'd rather die with someone wouldn't you, than to kind of use them up and need them.
Yeah, you'd hold them in reserve, one would think. But hey, not everyone's. It's like the parable of the grasshopper and the what's it?
What?
Which obviously stuck in my head. Is this? I can't remember. Was it the ant and the grasshopper? One of them stores food for winter, and the other one just doesn't worry about it.
That's a squirrel and rabbit or something, isn't it?
I don't know. It's probably been done in various guises. Anyway, whatever.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, anyway, it says 9 lives. And there's an old English proverb that goes, a cat has 9 lives. For 3 he plays, for 3 he strays, and for the last 3 he stays. There you go.
That's so that's just describing an adolescent cat, an adult cat, and an old cat.
An older cat, yeah, pretty much. And then, I don't know why that's 3 lives, but anyway. Yeah,
the Holy Trinity now. Come on, it all ties in. It's got to be 3s.
Yeah, well, that's actually they do say that here. It says, frankly, I thought the whole 9 lives thing comes from numerology, with the number 9 representing the Trinity of Trinities, thus saying the cat is very lucky. And then, so there's a few bits that they call out in here, and then we're going to get through to there's some stories which are kind of like probably. Yeah, this is the sort of gruesome one. So the Tag. So this
what the Swiss watch.
No, not the Tag here.
Right. Different.
Targum, I'm not sure how you're pronouncing that again. So this was an ancient form of Scottish divination practiced until the 17th century, akin to necromancy. So you try and, if you want to call up a demon or something like this, I imagine all of this is
a skeleton
from something like Malleus Maleficarum, which is a load of old bollocks that people.
Shush, we're going to be looking
which the generals did to, to harass basically
everyone,
women who lived by themselves. Yeah, who knew it Christian enough. But anyway, I mean, yeah, if we are doing that, that'd be interesting, because that guy who made him the self-appointed so-called Witchfinder General was just, very much a David Icke of his day. But he made some coin out of it, I suspect.
I'll tell you what, a decent comedy programme was a BBC one, and that's recent, which shows that some good stuff gets through. It's called like the Witchfinder General, and it's got Tim Key.
Playing. Yeah, the guy did the poet thing, and
that's quite good.
Yeah, I've heard the good stuff, and I haven't seen it yet, but I'm a bit behind. I don't watch a lot of terrestrial TV anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, you're watching space TV, dickhead.
Yeah. So one of the things you can do to do this is you wrap a person in the hide of a recently slain cow. Yeah. There's all sorts of human and animal
sacrifice. Where George Lucas got the idea.
Yeah. Or on the Isle of Mull, there's a variation to the right where you roast cats alive on spits for 4 days.
Ugh.
I first thought, how are they going to survive for 4 days? But apparently you need lots of cats.
The thing is, humans have been fucking horrible to cats for millennia, right? And it's weird that they still stick around, because like in the Middle Ages, there were like cat burnings and stuff where they throw live cats onto fires. And even stuff like the Egyptians, who kind of saw cats as kind of like sacred creatures, they used to like, because they basically had a tourist industry in ancient Egypt, right? So like somewhere like Thebes, people would travel from all round to come and see it, and they'd want to buy like a cat mummy or something. So they just used to have cat farms, and they'd just like kill kittens and then make them into mummies so they could sell them to tourists and stuff. Like, it's fucking horrific. Yeah,
but on this one, I think this is all probably, whether it actually happened or not, because again, these are kind of like spells and things like that. So I think these are all, probably a lot of these rituals come from the frenzied mind of people who.
And there was that woman who chucked the cat in the bin as well.
Oh yeah,
we brought back the death penalty for her, thankfully.
Yes,
to gave it, quietly, ever so quietly, she was hung.
Yeah, you don't see her around anymore, and there's a reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently you can summon up a large demonic cat with glowing yellow eyes known as Big Ears.
Hey, he sounds all right.
Black cats, yeah.
Anyway. I've had weird dreams in the past where my boy cat, who's called Pac-Man, if anyone wants to knit him a jumper, right, where he has been...
be bothered to leave a review, Chris. Start getting knitwear through the mail.
I know, but I'm thinking the cat stuff might get people in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The description of this episode is just going to be cat, # cats. Yeah. And hopefully we might get something.
I think you want to pull the desperation lever there.
Well, our 3 levers.
I don't even want cash, anything for likes.
Yeah, just a like, just a comment, man. Like, we're thirsty.
Is there some way you'd like us to debase ourselves for your amusement?
Yeah, fine. Well, just tell us. Just email us. We'll do it.
We'll get it done.
But yeah, I had a dream where I've had it a couple of times where my cat Pac-Man is like the size of like a pony.
Right.
and I've been able to ride him
Did
around.
you
And
saddle
stuff.
and ride him, or was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have to saddle him,
Okay,
but it was nice. It was kind of like pound shop He-Man, I guess.
Yeah.
It was good. Good dream, that.
I would have thought you probably can get He-Man down the pound shop these days. Well, he's
No,
pretty
not after,
launched, hasn't he?
after the reboots.
Oh yeah, didn't what's his face?
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith did a well, that was She-Ra, but yeah, presumably him.
No, it was He-Man.
Up. Oh, he's done a He-Man one as well.
It was just called Master of the Universe.
Oh, okay. I've not seen it.
But yeah, it was
Obviously, 'cause I'm
He-Man.
in my 40s. I know that doesn't
seen
stop
it.
everyone. Fair enough.
I saw it.
I'm not
It was-
arguing it, to be honest with you.
It was fine. It was just funny that everyone was really angry because He-Man wasn't the main character. Shit, like
Oh, that was
Teela
it, wasn't it? It's because right, yeah. No, I know everyone got up in arms because of I thought he'd done a She-Ra one or something.
No, it's just called Master of the Universe, but the main character wasn't He-Man. It was Teela,
Okay.
who's your man of arms, his daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
Oh,
big
first
cats.
they took away Mad Max from Mad Max. Now they're taking away Prince Caspian or whatever his fucking name is. I don't know, whatever.
The Little Mermaid's white.
Don't think it's stuff. Don't have to like Disney movies, but find a better. All you're going to do there is make me like those horrific, real life animation things. What a pointless endeavour. Anyway, here's a classic cartoon. Let's turn it into a real world movie like Dumbo.
No, and
I've not
Lion
seen
King.
it, and I like Tim Burton, but the amount of CGI you'd have to throw in there. What's the difference between that and an animation other than it's completely?
Well, I moved.
harmless?
I wasn't a huge Disney fan even when I was a kid. I preferred Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Because
it's a bit kind of twee, isn't it? Disney.
it's a bit twee, yeah. Like
If
Warner
you've
Brothers
grown
are
up
at
with
least
Roald Dahl
funny.
books and stuff, and I know he has his problems. Don't get me wrong, but it's something a little bit
Or
more.
like some
established.
Hanna-Barbera stuff was good as well because
Yeah.
Top Cat was just Phil Silvers.
Oh yeah, it was just totally ripped off Phil Silvers, which was great. Yeah, he was a kid. Or the Flintstones was just the Honeymooners, wasn't it? Basically.
I was thinking about Phil Silvers yesterday, actually, and I was thinking probably wouldn't get that today. You know, like
You mean he wouldn't be allowed on TV or something?
no, because like he's like a middle-aged bloke with glasses who's balding, and the TV probably wouldn't pick him up and give him a show.
Yeah,
even though he's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I love the Phil Silvers show. Yeah. Well, that whole I mean, it was kind of like very much. I don't know. It's kind of like who knows?
Anyway, that's cartoon sorted.
Yeah.
So big ears.
Another one ticked off. No, we've gone past him now. Now we move on to Feast of Samhain. Everyone knows the association of black cats at Halloween, which they're familiars. Yada yada yada. Oh, the Cait Sith is said to bless the household of anyone who leaves out a saucer of milk for them to drink in October.
It's nice.
If you don't leave out your saucer of milk, you'll be cursed having all your cows dry up and then produce milk. Don't have any cows, Chris. That's not going to bother me unduly.
Don't bother you, does it?
Yeah. And frankly, if I stop lactating a bit, that would be all for the best.
Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. A lot less.
A lot less laundry needed.
A lot less.
Murder on t-shirts.
A lot less pregnancy bras need buying. And also the price of milk these days. Have you thought about maybe leaving some of your own milk out for a cat? It's very sour, your milk, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd worry what the effect would be.
It's very
You
tart.
either turn more evil or punish me in some way for the. Yeah.
It's like pink grapefruit juice.
Very much an acquired taste. Anyway, then what with the blood?
It's like limoncello.
Yeah, limoncello's nice. So on to the stories now.
Well, so's your tit milk.
Well,
like, I don't mind it as an aperitif.
Allegedly, yeah.
It's nice that when you make it into ice cream, it's like sorbet.
The king of the cats. So we're on to the stories now about this little fella. So one winter night, a man comes bursting home through his door, calling out to his wife and startling the family cat. Who's Tommy Tildrum?
Mary, who's Tommy Tildrum?
Startled, the man's wife asks him what the matter is and who this Tommy Tildrum is.
What's the matter? Who's Tommy Tildrum?
So the man proceeds to tell his wife how he was working in the cemetery digging a new grave when he fell asleep. He's not a good worker, is he? You know, that's that, what do I call it?
Oh, you know, he's part of the anti-growth coalition.
Yeah, it's part of the blob. Oh.
These woke sleeping grave diggers.
He woke up a cat's meow. Oh, he woke up hearing a cat's meow, and then he looked over the edge of the grave hole. He saw a group of 9 black cats, all carrying a small coffin with a gold crown laid on it.
Gold crown on it.
It's memorable, isn't it?
How were they carrying it?
I don't know how they carried it. Yeah.
Strapped to their backs, in their mouth,
on their shoulders. Everything.
Were they carrying one each, or did they have it like down the middle, like when you have to be a palm bearer?
I imagine it's like a pallbearer situation.
Yeah.
Every third step, they'd meow in unison.
Yeah, that's because they're disciplined.
Yeah. And then eventually the group of cats made their way towards the man, and one of the cats stood before him and said, "Tell Tom Tildrum that Tim Toldrum is dead." That's a tongue twister.
Tell Tom Tildrum that Tim Toldrum is dead.
I struggle, as listeners will know, reading a normal sentence. So, yeah, tell Tom Tildrum that Tim Toldrum is dead.
Deed.
And here we go. Here's the twist. Here's the twist in the tale, Chris.
Oh, and tail nice.
The family cat burst out with, "Old Tom's dead, and I'm the king of the cats," as he rushed up the chimney, never to be seen again.
Hey! What is that, mate? I'm king of the cats now. See you later. That's good. That's that reminds me of The Cat Returns, the Hayao Miyazaki Studio Ghibli one, where a girl saves a black cat, and then the king of the cats turns up, and then the girl sort of slowly turns into a cat, and Pierce Brosnan is like the sexy, adventurous cat. That's how I describe that film.
Yeah. I've not seen it. I've seen quite a bit of Studio Ghibli stuff. I've not seen that one.
It's good. Yeah, it's worth it.
It reminds me I was thinking a bit more of Darby O'Gill and the Little People, but
I don't know what that is.
Slightly worse. It's a terrible. It's like an American Irish film, and he's like, "I'm a leprechaun," and it's got Sean Connery plays an Irish labourer.
Yeah. Did Dropkick Murphys do the soundtrack?
They would do if it wasn't made in the 50s.
Aye.
Yes. No, I think there's a lot of twiddly-dee kind of music going on, and it might be a Disney one actually. Talking of which,
I'll tell you what's interesting.
Anyway, it's fucking terrible.
I went to Galicia a couple of weeks back, as you know. Went to A Coruña. That's in northwest Spain for the uninitiated, and it's considered one of the 7 lands of the Celts.
Yeah.
So there's like Galicia, Brittany, I think, and then you've got Cornwall, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and Isle of Man, weirdly.
Yeah.
But the guy who came to, there was this little, the guy who came to let us into our Airbnb
was a cat.
Right? It was unbelievable. The king of the cats.
Yeah.
He was the king of the cats.
Little golden crown. Yeah.
Yeah, and he went, "All right, are you meant to be staying here today?"
Are you Tim Tolborn?
Yeah. All right, you're English. And I went, "Well, English-Irish." He went, "All right, you're right then." No, so the guy, he looked like he was from like County Clare or something. He looked like an old version of our mate Clement.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, he couldn't speak any English, and so we were kind of chatting sort of with my broken Spanish.
Yeah.
But his phone went off. And it was literally like Irish music. So Galicia music basically. So it was like diddly diddly kind of stuff. And they was on the phone going, "Oh," and then like doing the wife sort of stuff, because like that's the international code for men.
Oh yeah, don't worry. Yeah.
That's every man in the world does that, I think. But yeah, like it's really weird. Like it's really like got a proper Celtic feel. I think that's why I felt quite at home there. It's like really laid back, and everyone's weirdly, other people in Spain say, "Oh, the Galicians are really cold." I found them incredibly friendly. So
there you go.
Don't know.
Depends.
Depends what you expect.
Exactly. Right. On to another story. The Fisherman's Wife. So this story hails from West Island, talking of which, and tells a tale of a woman married to a fisherman.
What part of West Island?
It doesn't say. Let's say Galway.
Okay.
And you can imagine
my natural enemy.
God, I'm so terrible at remembering things these days. Ginger troubadour fella, popular. Sheeran.
Sheeran, yeah. Jerry Sheeran.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Jerry Sheeran.
Didn't he write a
Galway Girl? Yeah.
Galway Girl. Yeah. Anyway,
he's not allowed in Mayo now. A little joke from my Irish friends there.
Every day, the husband would return home with a catch, and the woman would work diligently to clean, cut, and prep the fish for market. Making this task harder while the fisherman was out, the woman would be constantly tormented by a large black cat that would slip into the house and eat up all the finest fish that the women had prepared.
Mm-mm.
Having had
Cats
enough of this,
Cats be catting.
well, you know,
And leave your fish, your
Leave
windows
fish lying
open
around.
and your fish
Cats
lying
gonna-
around.
yeah.
Cat's going to have it.
Anyway, she decided to fight off the voracious feline. As she was
What's
gossiping with a
brave of
friend,
her? Brave of fight a cat.
the house
Typical. Do you know what that is? That's typical Galway nonsense.
well, you wait and see. You're going to twist the tail. So she'd gossiping with a friend, and the household suddenly became shadowed as the front door to the house burst open, and in came a huge monster cat.
Yeah, from Castle Bar.
Yeah. Heading for the glowing fire in the hearth, the huge cat turned to roar at the women. A young girl who was there helping to sort the fish screamed, "It must be the devil himself."
Just so you know, Neil, what I'm doing here is a lot of inter-Connaught fighting jokes.
Yes.
Because Mayo and Galway don't like each other, apparently. Do you know, I found that out because I was talking to an Irish woman from Galway and, attractive woman at the Fiddler's Elbow.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh, where are your family from then?" And I was like, "Oh, they're from sort of Ballina area, Mayo." And she's like, "Oh, I can't talk to you then, like Mayo, Galway." I went, "All right." And that's that story.
There you go. Nothing like pointless internecine feuds, is there?
Well, the one thing the Irish aren't known for is holding a grudge.
Yeah, absolutely. Why we had to? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Though we are.
Don't matter. I'll fight you.
Yeah. You shouldn't have done it, whatever it was. Well, your ancestors shouldn't have done it. Turning towards the young girl. Oh, yeah, the huge cat hissed, leaping upon the girl, saying he would teach her to hymn names, to call him names, I assume is what we know.
Ooh.
He clawed the girl deeply, drawing blood. He continued sneering, "That will teach her to be more civil."
Yeah.
Leaps for the open door, slams it closed to keep his captors from fleeing. However, a man passing by heard the cries and screaming coming from the house, rushed to the door, tried to force it open. The cat digs its claws into the ground and refuses him to come in. He then pulled out a large black thorn stick in his hands to begin striking the monster cat with. But
Like a
he was more than
switch.
Yeah.
That's what blackthorn sticks were. Switches.
But he was more than a match for the man and had them running for their life. So, with the would-be rescuer gone, a more than smug and satisfied cat turned his attention back to the women, hissing it was time for him to get
More fish.
Yeah, I don't know, and headed over to the fish, rapidly ate up all the fish on the table. It was unfazed by the woman trying to hit it, and as it licked its chops and feasted.
I like this cat.
Yeah, he finally finishes with its meal, breathes out fire at the women, and tore at them with his massive claws and teeth. They fled the house in terror, screaming for their lives. But the fisherman's wife ran for the nearest church to get a bottle of holy water, raced back home to confront the monstrous cat. Peering within the house, she saw the huge cat had returned to devouring the fish. She snuck up on it, smacking the bottle as hard as she can against the monstrous cat, so the bottle broke. But I like the fact that they just have a bottle of holy water just sitting around.
Yeah, well, they do in churches, don't they, for baptisms and that.
You'll have the fonts and stuff, but yeah, I don't know if there'd just be a bottle hanging around for people to use as.
Well, if you've got devils kicking about, you're going to need
that's true,
a little
You
armoury.
need a bit of armament, yeah. Molotov cocktail, Catholic style.
A Monsignor cocktail.
Yeah. So, very good. The monstrous cat howled as thick smoke filled the entire room, obscuring everything until only his glowing red eyes could be seen. As the smoke cleared, all that was left of it was a shriveled up black cinder that eventually disappeared. Relieved, the woman's fish were finally saved. So, that's clearly quite a strongly Christian influenced story there.
You reckon?
Could be.
Well, I thought it was just good journalism.
Well, talking of feuds, Jesus and cats, especially black cats.
Yeah, well known feud. That's the one thing that he was really violent against, cats.
Well, that was he kept making all the dividing up the fish, didn't he? But the cats kept eating them.
Yeah, whenever he made like a nice chair,
It's like, look, we're trying to have a nice fish sandwich here.
Yeah, exactly, lovely.
Too many loaves, not enough fish because your cats keep eating them.
Well, and he kept whenever he made furniture, the cat would scratch it up.
Yeah. Okay, and then our final story is called A Cat's Revenge.
Cat's Revenge.
Yeah, so there you go. The Cats win
South
on
Korean
the
movie.
final one here. I'm not quite sure what these stories have got to do with the cat she, but fair enough. I'm just going to assume that they're all cat she's that are doing this stuff. Yeah. So many people are familiar with stories of people who feed their cats at the dinner table with them. You do that, Chris?
Well, I don't eat at the dinner table. I eat on my lap on the sofa.
Yeah,
because I'm basically gutter snipe.
You've got a cat on each leg, yeah.
Well, my cat sits next to me, and I'll put food down for it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Doesn't matter. We're our own little family unit.
Share and share alike, yeah.
Exactly.
So, but one evening, the lady's hosting a special dinner party for her friends. So this time around, given the circumstances, she didn't feed a cat at the same table her friends would.
You can't suddenly change things up with a cat.
So, feeling slighted and insulted at not being fed, the cat became angry.
Of course it fucking did.
You want to see how this pans out. That night, the cat came from its hiding spot and slipped into the lady's room where she slept.
Yep, cut throat.
Leaping onto the bed, the lady bit the lady's neck so badly she would die weeks later from blood poisoning. Wasn't a nice straightforward throat cut. No, she got sepsis and died in agony weeks later.
Well,
that's her told.
That is her told.
Mind you, that cat's not a long-term thinker because he ain't getting any more food out of her, is he?
Cats aren't bothered. They'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, just go somewhere else. You get looked after.
Yeah, exactly. Are you the cat that gave that woman sepsis and stuff? I mean, maybe, but like the thing is, are you gonna slight me during a dinner party?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have dinner parties. Well, then we'll be fine.
It's all going to work out fine, isn't it?
It's about respect.
You scratch my back and I'll eat your food.
Exactly.
Like, you keep on scratching. Yeah, and apparently they mentioned the story because there's an old tradition and belief that black cat's blood held a lot of power for healing and warding off disease.
Oh dear.
So yeah, that's probably...
Don't want to know what they did with that information particularly.
Yeah. So yeah, a bunch of possibly unrelated stories, but it's a nice little website, I think. So yeah, that was by Silver Fox 57.
Oh right, I like the sound of him.
It's a lady, I believe.
Yeah. Neil.
There you go.
Did it just get hot in here?
And they've been it looks like so. Yeah, if you want to go to a mythology website with a bit of Lego theme. Brickthology, I'm going to give it a shout out. It looks like they've got 10 years worth of articles. They've been going since 2012, and the latest one was October 2023. So,
so still going.
Good luck to them.
Maybe we found a kindred spirit there.
Yeah,
someone who just keeps going despite everything.
Cracks on, and they've got another unique little thing. And they just say there's a possible reality behind the myth. There you go, even better. It might be based on Kellis cats, which are a hybrid between European wild cats and domestic cats in Scotland.
Yeah, Kellis cats.
Yeah,
but they're not black normally.
They look like large black wild cats, but they have some features close to domestic cats. So some of them might have like a white spot or something, I guess. Yeah, so there you go.
I thought Kellis cats were grey. Anyway, shows you what I know.
I don't know, but I mean, I'm taking a blog post for my information, so.
Well, that's better than taking my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So there you go, the cat she. I thought that was a nice little...
Very nice.
Something different.
I liked it.
Different. Yeah.
And how's she spelt?
So that is spelt CAITSITH. So it's like
Cait
Sith.
Sith.
Like Cait Sith. But,
Star Wars.
Yeah, cat she is how...
Like a space film. Okay, Neil. Well, let's go through our scoring system then. Spookiness. What do you reckon? I
think there's quite a few spooky tales in there. So I think there's also something about, I mean, I like cats. I'm a cat person. Not everyone is. But, they can be kind of like, you wouldn't get on the wrong side of a cat generally. And especially sort of demonic ones. So, yeah, I mean, dying of sepsis or, have them kind of come in and sort of like grow to monstrous size and slash you up in your, you're trying to do a bit of your...
Yeah, but only because you insulted it.
Like not letting you eat all of your catch.
No, because you said it was the devil.
Well, right, because it started eating all my... No, it escalated things first.
So in all of these instances, you're basically what's happened is you've disrespected a cat. And you pay a heavy price.
Too pro cat here, Chris.
Well, you can tell that I'm going to be very pro cat on mine.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's some quite spooky stories on this. Yeah, it's basically cats dominating, which I think they will tend to do. Yeah, I think them dying of sepsis and stuff. So I'm going to give it. I mean, it's not like the most spooky thing, but yeah, there's some. I think what's there as well is you've got this sort of the cat mentality, which is just kind of like doing what it wants, but then growing to monstrous size as well, so it can overpower you. I think that's a dangerous combination. I'm going to give it a 7.
7. They are alpha predators. So I get what you're saying, right? But
it's just cute, Dinoceps, isn't it?
Well, no, because I wouldn't have insulted the cat, so I'm not going to be dying of sepsis, am I? Like, if you want to,
by insulting the cat, you mean not letting it
eat at the table when you're having a dinner party? Yeah. Well, that is insulting, isn't it? Like for cats know that they're better than humans, so
that's correct.
I'm very fortunate. Like, neither of my cats have ever bitten me. Like my cat, when I was growing up, had bitten me, but these two have never done it. They're very sweet-natured. I don't know. Like, the thing is, like, even with the cat that comes in, it's like human size or bigger. I'm kind of thinking, if that cat came in, I'd go, have the fucking fish. Right, nice one. I want to be friends. Do you want me to make you a bed up in the corner? Because I really like cats. Tickle under the chin. I think that losing some fish when you live with a fisherman, so therefore you're getting loads of fish, I think that's a small price to pay to befriend a massive cat, to be honest.
It's all your fish, though, so that's your primary source of income.
Yeah, but for the day.
Yeah, it'll happen again tomorrow, won't it, probably?
Well, get more fish. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are fish so expensive anyway? It's not like you've got to look after them. You're just pulling them out of their natural environment. It's ridiculous. Plenty of fish. Literally, the saying goes, "There's plenty of fish in the sea." Now, that might not be the case now with trawler fishing. But we're talking about the west coast of Ireland in the past. There's fish aplenty. I just can't find this spooky now. I find it adorable, so I'm going to give it.
Me and Nigel Farage are appalled at what you're saying about a hard-working fisherman. We absolutely didn't turn our back on after we got their vote.
Believability. So people
got to be a 10 here.
Yeah,
these are all cat-like behaviours.
They are cat-like behaviours. There is I think. Well, there's definitely believability that people believe stupid myths and stuff about cats. Like, black cats are the ones that are most difficult to rehome, like from cat rescue centre places, because people still think in this modern age that they're unlucky or some shit, right? It's just unbelievable. So yeah, I think that, if a cat bit you, would you die of sepsis? Not from the cat's bite, because cats are clean. But maybe if you didn't treat the wound properly, you could do. So again, it's the human's fault. So there's a believability there. Giant cat, probably not. I don't think so. And what's the first one again? Oh, the cat's carrying the coffin.
King of the Cats. Yeah.
King of the Cats. Oh, that was the best one.
Yeah, it was a good one.
That's the best one. And
the family cat was the new King of the Cats.
Yeah, that I want to believe. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a believability of 8 now.
Fair enough.
You?
I mean, it's probably slightly lower on the believability side for me.
So jaded.
I mean, stealing souls, absolutely. I can see that. 9 lives, well, we all know about that, don't we? Don't cross a cat on Halloween, obviously. Have some sense. I'd like to believe the King of the Cats. That'd be good. I like the little cat pallbearers carrying a little golden coffin around. That's awesome. And the names they come up with for them, which
gorgeous.
Big cat, maybe not so much, but then that's probably more of a kind of like Christian one that's done afterwards.
Yeah.
Cat's Revenge. Yeah, I could see it. I'm going to give it a 6.
6. Nice. So narratives / premises.
I think there's a I think you could certainly do something with this. What I like, because again, I don't know how the stories relate to the cat shoe. but let's just assume they're all. I mean, it's all kind of like cat spirity things. Yeah, I think you could, you could come up with all sorts of extra stories. I mean, I especially think the King of the Cats. Let's see what he's getting up to. I think that's at least a series on Netflix. Good Lord, from me today.
Cough, cough, cough.
Cough, cough, cough. Want a mint or something in a minute.
Hot toddy.
Yeah, I'll make some hot toddy. Yeah, no promise. Yeah, I think there's some quite interesting. You come up with all sorts of stories. I mean, we carried 3 there, which is quite a decent breadth of what was going on. So you had like a monster cat, a King of the Cats, and then an
angry normal cat.
Angry normal cat. Yeah, I think you could make up
Not
like
Psycho.
a little anthology series, couldn't it? Like American Gods, but just with cats. So yeah, 7 for me.
Yeah. So I agree. I like the stories. They're better than most of the ones we hear, to be honest. Yeah, I'll go for an 8. Reach. So I, as a British Celt, had never heard of it. So I don't imagine it's that well known of, although it has been in the computer game. But it is old, so it's got the time. So I'm going to give it a 4 now.
Yeah, I don't think it's probably massively well known. I mean, it's been in various different bits. I had heard of this, but it's not like Leprechaun or something like that. That's really well known. I'll give it a 5.
Okay, and that gives us an overall score of 47, so not too bad. If you've got any stories about cats and that, then you can email us at urbane.legends.pod@gmail.com. I know you won't, and leave comments and stuff, but again, I'm aware that you won't do that. I'm howling at the moon. And well, that's it for this week. And I hope you have a nice week and stuff. And don't look at the news too much because it's not great at the moment. So try not to let that affect your mood too much as possible. But yeah, we'll be back again with some more bollocks next week. And I'll see you then. Goodbye.
Certainly will. Goodbye.